Welcome back to Therapy Thursdays.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot, I get off.
Therapy Thursdays. I am Rasha, your client. Today was the dreaded legal battle from hell. Today went kind of so-so. It could be over, but we don't know. Here's the story. I'm going to change some names so that the names are not said. So the story is this. Here's the truth. Unnecessary legal battle. We're going to call this person Darla. Darla is a family member who suffers from some mental illness. The main one is that she is a pathological liar. She cannot go an hour without lying. She is not a good person at all. Never really been one. And she can't take responsibility for the things that she does. Keep that in mind. Darla decides to commit Social Security fraud. And when you're on Social Security, you have to report if you work any hours because they give you a set amount monthly and you can't exceed that. So Darla decided to commit Social Security fraud, whether it be that or something else. Something happened to where they detected fraud from her. So they stopped her payments to catch up for the money that she was paid or given that was over the amount. So months go by, she's unable to pay her rent and her car and her bills. So she gets evicted. Her car gets repossessed. Her friend at the time, I don't know if they're still friends or not, but I guess so. Her friend at the time co-signed for her car. So the car got repossessed. Darla decides to ghost this friend. Just falls off the face of earth. Doesn't return her calls, no nothing. Have you heard from Darla? And we're like, no, we don't know what's going on. We're trying to reach her, because Darla became silent. She became like a hermit. Nobody could reach her. Now, in this time, she has a child that is 13 at the time. She's 14 now. Because she is not having money come in, her rent is past due, car gets repossessed, she gets eviction notices, whatnot. Her child is at school talking to her art teacher, which she confided in at the time, and let her know what's going on, give her distress messages, something that was uncomfortable to where child services had to come in. So they call my mother and I to come pick the child up because Darla is not answering their calls, not answering the door, nothing, like they can't reach her. So we pick the child up, bring her to the house, feed her, whatnot. Darla decides to call 911 and say her child is missing. When the police go to her house, she doesn't answer. My father goes to her apartment and says to the police that the child is at our house. The police go to my mother's house and see what's going on. We give them child services number that confirms they said to get the child from school. Darla in her mental state, says that we kidnapped her, which is a lie. But she is a lieful person, if that's a word. She's unable to tell the truth to save her life. She is the queen of lies. She gets admitted to a mental hospital for 3 weeks. The first mental hospital came out, was angry at us for some reason, gets go back in there for another 3-4 weeks, and comes out. In that time, her eviction is done. She's out the apartment. So my mother begs the apartment complex for us to be able to clean her stuff out, to take her things, put it in storage, you know. So we're cleaning her filthy house. Filthy house. We have her purse and her phone. Her things are either going to be put in the trash or we put it in storage. So I take it upon myself to figure out what's going on, what's happening. And I find the truth. Because she took a picture of everything that was going on. Everything. And I got it all. In this process, she is messaging News4Jax, saying that her family did this and we in cahoots with her baby daddy and trying to do this, and she went to the hospital and her things came out and her things were gone. We took her apartment and her car away from her. Lying. She likes to tell people these lies that don't know us or are gullible or people that aren't the smartest people, these sob stories to be on her side to get sympathy. Lying. Okay, so fast forward. I had the child for about a year. Yeah, exactly a year. Child Services told us to get a lawyer for temporary custody, so you know, if she's still inside her mental phase, she won't take the child and go to the street, which she wanted to do. She was content in having her child in the street to go through hell with her. So we got a lawyer, and our lawyer found out that she was trying to do some law things, but she wasn't doing it correctly. Later on, she did get a real lawyer. Her lawyer is a bitch. This lady went so hard with zero evidence, calling us out our name. We did this, we did that, we did fraud, and we gonna get all this and this and that with zero evidence. Like, really? I have all the images of her eviction notice, her repossession notice, the victims that she's trying to get sympathy from. And in the process of the lawyer part, we had to sign this paper. The paper said that she was deceased. I read over it. I let the lawyer know, my lawyer know, that it was a mistake because she was not deceased. And he said, okay, he's going to fix it. I said, okay. So we signed the paper knowing that he was going to fix the error before sending it off. That's what we thought. But I guess the paper got sent before the correction was made. So that's the piece of paper that she is trying to get sympathy for over a lie, something that is not true. When we were in court the first time, lawyer apologized to Darla and said it was a error on the firm's part because we have a lot of different cases, and it was my fault. I apologize. He said that in court, and that cleared that because it was on his part. We did not say that. But now she has a piece of paper that she will ride until the wheels fall off to get sympathy and lie. So she is, Darla is sticking to the narrative of we caused all of this. She was in the hospital. She came out and her apartment was gone, her dogs were gone, her car was gone, her child was gone, and zero responsibility for what she did. If I recall, and if you guys recall, In the beginning, she committed Social Security fraud, which stopped her payments where she couldn't pay her rent or her car. So they got repossessed and evicted. What does that have to do with us? Because she can't take responsibility for her actions. She never have ever in her life. Never have ever in her life. She cannot take responsibility for anything. She can't apologize for anything. Sorry, I apologize is not in her vocabulary. She will go all around the world and say excuses of, oh, this happened because of that. This happened because of this. This is why this happened, instead of saying, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. She can't say it. We were in court today, and the judge decided to kind of ease the child and her back together. Because in the state of Florida, if you don't know, they are really big on the parents and the child being together. Like, you have to do something super awful for them not to put you back together. So on the weekend, it's going to be like a couple hours, like from 10 to 6 here, and then pick up next week this and that, then gradually overnights, then gradually whatever. And then eventually, if the child wants to go back to the mother, then fine. That can happen, and then we don't even have to go back to court. It's settled, it's done. So she's on a probation thing for about 2 months, from May and June. So I let the child know, and she is okay with it from what I gather. As long as she has her laptop, she's fine. Darla lives near her best friend, you know. Then in the child's eyes, that's a plus. She'll be going to the school that she wants to go to, which is, you know, a plus. The way I see it is everything is going to be, you know, clear. So if the child is okay with going with the mother, with Darla, and Darla actually apologizes to the child and takes responsibility for her actions, things will be fine. Okay, the child can go back to her mother and they do what they do. Our names are cleared because we had no fault in this at all, but trying to give the child a place to rest their head and some food in the stomach. You know, that was our role. The law didn't even have to get involved. Okay, the law didn't have to get involved. If Darla would have took responsibility and said, okay, I fell off again, I did something I shouldn't have done, can y'all watch my child, and I'm gonna get myself together, I'm gonna come back and get her. Boom! The law didn't have to get involved, but because she can't take responsibilities for her fucking actions, she has to drag everybody else down on lies so she can freaking feel justified. Who in the world? Well, there's plenty of people in the world that can't take responsibility for their actions. There wouldn't be no narcissists, no manipulators. That's what she is. Darla is a narcissist and manipulator. She's crazy AF. And whoever wants to continue to be her friend after they did what they did to her deserves anything that she do to them. Because it's coming. Darla finds somebody to stay with or get some kind of double wide somewhere. The friend that she ghosted decided to take her back as a friend, but hey, that's on her, and use her car to get things together. So that's where we're at now. So I told the child that whatever you want is what you want. Don't worry about how to make us feel. Do what you feel that you want to do. If you want to go back with Darla